Is America engaged in a spiritual attack against God of heaven? Yes. America has consistently engaged in spiritual warfare against God. America is fighting God. America has attacked God. And this video is about 3 instances where America has attacked God. And before I begin the video, let's look at Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That is the first verse in the Bible. So 2 things are important. Number 1, there is God. So if you don't believe in God, then you are rebelling against God. Number 2, God created heaven and earth. So if you don't believe in creation, then you are rebelling against God. And we are going to show how America has rebelled against God, how America is fighting God. And let's begin with a case that happened in 1962. The case name is Engel versus Vitali. Engel versus Vitali, 1962. It was in New York where school children were saying prayers every morning and mentioning the name of God. In fact, the prayers were not compulsory. Any child who wouldn't want to say the prayer was not forced to do so. Somebody sued the school that it was unconstitutional. It was an infringement on his right of free religion to mention the name of God in school. And the case went to the Supreme Court of the United States, and the judges decided by 6-1 decision that the name of God should not be mentioned in prayers in public schools in the United States. That was 1962. Engel versus Vitali. It's very interesting that a lawyer in the United States, his name is John Silver, he did a video and I watched it. And he said that President Franklin Roosevelt appointed 9 judges to the Supreme Court. And out of the 9 judges, 6 of them were members of the secret society, the Freemason. And he also said that President Franklin Roosevelt was also a member of the Freemason. So he appointed Masonic judges to the Supreme Court. President Harry Truman also appointed 4 judges to the Supreme Court, and 2 of them were members of the secret society, the Freemason. These Freemason judges dominated the U.S. Supreme Court, and they came out with the doctrine of separation of church and state, that the state should be separated from the church. And using this satanic doctrine of separation of church and state, they decided that it is not the state business to promote God in public schools. So they decided to take God the name of God from public schools in the United States. 1987, something also happened in 1987. This time it was in Louisiana. Louisiana is one of the states in the United States. And the Louisiana state legislature made a law that if there's any school in Louisiana that teaches evolutionism, they must balance the teaching and also teach creationism. Evolutionism is a theory that says that the world was not created, it evolved. It's based upon the teachings of Charles Darwin. And so Louisiana just wanted children to have balanced education by saying that if you teach evolutionism, you must also teach creationism. And the case went to Supreme Court of the United States. And the Supreme Court said that you cannot teach creationism in public schools in the United States, because if you teach creationism, you are teaching children about your religion, you are teaching children about a belief in the existence of a supernatural being who created the world. And if you read Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. The Supreme Court of the United States does not believe in this biblical principle. Even if they believe in it, they are saying that based upon the Constitution of the United States, you cannot teach about creationism in public schools. So this is a second attempt by the Supreme Court to fight God. The third case happened on June 26, 2015. And this case is Obergefell versus Hodges. Obergefell versus Hodges. It was decided on June 26, 2015. This is a sad case. That was when the Supreme Court ruled that same-sex marriage must be the law. The US must protect same-sex marriage. A man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman. That was Obergefell versus Hodges, decided in 2015. Barack Obama was the president of the United States at that time, and he was very happy. Barack Obama said that that is equality. For the first time, equality is coming to America. A man can marry a man, and a woman can marry a woman. Barack Obama also said that America is no longer a Christian country. So it's on record that American leaders, their presidents and their judges have decided that God cannot rule United States because the US is not a Christian country. When the Supreme Court ruled that a man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman, I watched a video and I watched Pastor T.D. Jakes commenting on the Supreme Court decision. And he said that America is ruled by a constitution, and of course God also rules by the Bible. He was implying that let America decide by their constitution, and so he was implicitly suggesting that the decision is okay. A man can marry a man, and a woman can marry a woman. He did not criticize the decision. He did not stand up for God. But be very clear. The Bible says that if you are shy to mention the name of Christ in front of people, Christ will not mention your name in front of his Father. If you deny God, God will also deny you. If you deny Christ, Christ will also deny you. And so you can see that in the space of 3 cases in the Supreme Court. Number 1, the Supreme Court has said you cannot mention the name of God in public schools. Number 2, the Supreme Court also has said that you cannot teach about creationism in public schools. In 1987, when the Supreme Court was making that decision, 72 scientists who had been awarded Nobel prizes in the past, they filed a brief to support the argument that you cannot mention, you cannot teach creationism in public schools in the United States. By the Obergefell decision, Obergefell versus Hodges, 2015, the same-sex decision, the U.S. was sanctioning homosexuality in the United States and same-sex marriage in the United States. Of course, it was the God of heaven who rained fire and brimstone from the heavens to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of this sexual sin. So watch out. America has engaged in spiritual battle against God, and the God of heaven will respond. Judgment will come. It will not wait. It will not tarry. Judgment will come on America because the iniquities of Babylon America has reached heaven. Revelation chapter 18 verse 5 has said it. This is Messiah Revelation Ministry.